everyone, this is Sivajagadish Kumar M, Assistant Professor, Vignan University under the Department of Chemical Engineering. Welcome to the lecture series of Garment Dyeing, Printing, Embroidery, Unit 4, Lecture 2 or Video 2. Okay. So this is a subject which is very fascinating, which adds value addition to the products, and that is the reason there is a good demand for this subject, garment dyeing, printing and embroidery. So under the unit 1, garment dyeing is there, unit 2, garment printing techniques, unit 3, garment finishing techniques, and unit 4, this one is about the garment washing procedures. Okay. So in this class or in this video especially, we are going to see about the process. In the earlier class we discussed about there are various types of garment washing techniques, right? So we will see the process of denim garment wash, and then we will see acid wash and also enzyme wash in this class or in this video. Okay. So let us start. So denim is a one which basically trickle-up theory will be followed. So the vintage look or the old look or used look is the one which is used. So sometimes we may deliberately stain the denim, sometimes we may damage the denim, remove or tear, torn, and we will do so many things. Even Levi's is one of the brand which is very popular for denims, and so where the denim pair will be kept on a rail track, basically in order to create that feel of and to make it as a shorts, isn't it? So in the physical actually also it was happened. Okay. So anyhow, so this video, it is a third party video which I taken from somewhere else on the internet, and I have given the reference also. So you can understand the various types of processes with audio video. Okay. Yes.
Welcome back again to Beyond Barriers. We're going to show you today the basic denim wash sequences. At first, all the dye processes should be completed. For example, if the garments need tack or tie effect or whisker, scrapping, etc., then preparation for these effects need to be taken earlier. This preparation is called dry process. To know the details of dye process, please watch our separate video. First is desizing. The garments are put into the washing bath. In the video, you will see water is being released to make the garments wet. Other required chemicals will be added one by one, like wetting agent, sequestering agent, desizing, etc. After putting garments into the washing bath, it needs to set the time and temperature of the machine. Against material, the ratio 1:10 are followed to mix the liquor in the washing bath, which means material versus liquor. For example, if we take 1 kg garments, then we need 10 liters of liquor for the same. By setting washing time, it should release all the required chemicals in the bath, and in this way, the desizing process will be completed. Once the desizing process is done, then tight string has to be removed for the next process. Now the next step is enzyme wash. So, stones are being loaded in the wash bath. After certain moments, the garments are needed to be checked continuously to see whether the wash color and other effects are achieved or not. To check the shade or color, part of the garments need to be sunk under clear water and are compared with the original standard. If the shade is still darker, the garments need to be washed for longer time. Once the shade is achieved, stones are to be separated from garments. Then the garments are brought to the hydroextractor to remove water from garments. It is called extracting. Here is the hydroextractor. To know various machines, watch our separate video. Once this process is done, the garments are brought to the dryer using basket or something like this. In this image, the right-handed one is the dryer and the left one is the cool dryer. Once the garments become dry, then the other processes will be started, like if garment has use effect, it needs PP spray. If garment has some destroy effect, it needs to destroy on the particular area using sharp tools like knife or etc. If garment has edge destroy effect on some areas like pocket edge etc., it should undergo edge grinding process like this. Then the garments will be sent to the washing bath again for neutralization, because the garments are having high intense chemical spray like potassium permanganate. Sodium metasulfate is used for neutralization. After this process, softener, silicone, etc. have been used on the same bath to achieve required hand feel. Finally, the garments are sent to the hydro again and then the dryer to complete the entire washing process. Now wash is done. Here is the final garment. Oh my god! See how amazing it is! Wonderful! See the waistband area, the halo effect, the tack effect, etc. looks amazing. See the back area. Nice wash, tie effect, tack effect.
There are two types of processes involved in washing. Garment dry process, also known as the special effects, and garment wet process. Different techniques are used in garment dry process to create different types of effects on the garment, such as whiskers, scraping, distress, destroy, tagging, tying effect, and KMNO4 spray. There are two types of garment wet processes, single dip and double dip. Single dip washes are simpler washes, such as rinse wash or enzyme wash, in which, after the development of the base, the garment is dried and is sent to the finishing department. Double dip washes are fancy washes, in which, after the development of the base, the garment goes through further washing processes to create the desired effect, such as random wash or coated wash. There are different types of washes, such as rinse, enzyme, bleach, stone used, double stone used, random washes, and garment coating. In this demonstration, we have chosen a slight random wash with all used effect to show how the process works. We will show you how this will be converted to this. The whiskers pattern is traced and engraved on a sheet. This sheet is then placed on a stand on which the garment is mounted. Special care is taken while mounting the garment to avoid any creases on the garment. The whiskers are developed with the help of this block. An emery paper having fine grains is attached on one side of the block. The block is rubbed against the surface of the garment in the warp direction. Same operation is followed for the whiskers on the back knee as well. The next process is scraping. The garment is mounted on an inflatable balloon which is filled with compressed air. Here also, it is ensured that there are no creases on the garment surface. The scraping operation is performed with the help of an emery paper similar to this. The operator gently rubs the scraping pad along the body of the garment where the abrasive effect is desired. They need to be highly skilled to ensure proper merging of the effect. tagging creates a very subtle effect on the garment. Small folds are made on the desired areas and are fixed with the help of tags inserted with the tagging machine. Tagging is commonly done on the upper thigh, pocket openings and the waist belt regions, but can also be done on the other parts as well. Tying effects are created by tying the garment with the help of common cable ties. Tying can be done in different ways to get different results. For our targeted wash, leg bag tying technique is used. The garment is twisted and placed into a leg bag. The bag is then tied with the help of a cable tie. After tying, the first stage of our washing process is completed, and the garments are ready for the base development. Garments are now placed into the washing machine. The machine is filled with water, followed by addition of desizing agent and anti-back staining agents. Desizing is aimed to remove the size material from the fabric, which was earlier applied to the yarn during the weaving process. Anti-back staining agent helps prevent the garment from getting affected by the color bleeding out of the fabric. The process is run for 10 minutes, after which the machine is drained and fresh water is inducted. Enzymes are now added into the machine. These are biological molecules that act as catalysts and help creating an abrasive look on the body of the garment. The process is run for another 10 minutes, after which the machine is stopped and ties are opened. The garments are removed from the leg bags and placed back into the machine. The enzyme wash is continued for another 10 minutes, after which the machine is drained. After the enzymes have done their job, bleach is added to the process. Bleach helps to tone down the base of the garment. During the bleaching process, shade of the garment is checked against the wash standard. For this, a part of garment is taken out of the machine and dipped into the water along with the wash swatch. Depending upon the result, the duration of the process is adjusted. After getting the desired shade, the bleach is neutralized with the help of sodium metabisulfate. To create the random effect on the garment, fabric rugs are placed into the machine. Water along with bleach is added to the machine. The machine is now run for 10 minutes so that the rugs can absorb the bleach solution. After 10 minutes, the solution is drained. To create a completely random wash, the machine is started and the garments are thrown into the machine while it's running. Now the garments are run along with the rugs for 10 minutes. After the desired base is achieved, the garments are removed from the machine and placed into the hydro extractor. The hydro extractor removes the water from the garment, which are then placed into the dryer. After drying, the second stage of the washing process is complete and our base is ready. After the base is developed, the garments are sent to the Special Effects department for the destroy effects. Similar to the whiskers process, the garment is mounted on a stand. Underneath the garment, there are patrons made out of synthetic sheet, shaped according to the desired destroy effect. With the help of an emery paper attached to this block, the effect is created. By rubbing the block perpendicular to the direction of the warp threads are destroyed, leaving behind only the weft thread, thus creating the destroy effect. Distress effects are abrasive effects, added to create a used look on different parts of the garment, such as the pocket entries, bottom and waist belt. Distress effect is created by rubbing the targeted region with a grinding stone attached on the grinding machine. KMNO4 spray is sometimes also referred as pinky spray due to the pink color of KMNO4. It acts as a bleaching agent. It helps creating highlights on the targeted regions such as the scraped areas. KMNO4 is applied to the garment either with the help of a brush or with a spray gun. Brush is also used to even out the spray to avoid any droplets. With the KMNO4 spray, the third stage of our desired wash is complete. In the last stage of our wash, the KMNO4 is neutralized with the help of sodium metabisulfate. After the neutralization, the garments are placed in the hydro extractor to remove the water. Garments then undergo drying process in the dryer. After the drying, the washing process is complete and garments are sent to the finishing department. Washing plays such an important part in the denim chain because of the countless effects that consumers try to find in what they are wearing. For that reason, it is the most difficult, yet a very interesting chapter of the denim world.
Yeah. So I hope you understood the concept of the denim washing. Okay, various stages of processes, stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. Okay, so now we will discuss in detail about acid wash. So acid wash means basically we will not use the direct acid. We will use a bleaching agent, a strong bleaching agent in order to create the bleach effect, and in order to neutralize it we will be using certain acids. Okay, so the name came it as like acid wash. Okay, so the acid wash which will create very beautiful and impressive designs. Okay, so acid wash on the denims which becomes very popular due to its significant contrast and attractive appearance. Significant contrast and attractive appearance in the color. The acid wash can be carried out on indigo and sulfur based fabric. Okay, we cannot use a direct dye or reactive dye or bad dye and that. It can be used either for indigo or sulfur. Okay, sulfur black also will be used for denims. Okay, so indigo blue, sulfur black are the quite combination. Okay, so this acid wash can be done either for indigo base or also for the sulfur base. Okay, so in the acid wash, it is a chemical wash, not the natural or the physical abrandant which takes place. A chemical wash on the denim which strip the top layer of color, which take out the top layer of color and make it white surface. What happens if a strong bleaching agent when you keep? What will happen? Bleach means whatever the color indigo and all will be completely removed. Indigo blue or even sulfur black, it will be completely removed and it will comes to white spots and all wherever it comes in contact. Okay, and the lower level colors and all will be marginally removed and sometimes it may give as it is, and it gives a faded look. Understood? Acid wash is nothing but in this sometimes what happens, we may not use the water also in the acid wash. Whatever the stones in the stone washing which we will use, right, the same stones will be impregnated and will be immersed in terms of the strong bleaching agent, and then these will be rolled along with these stones will be rolled along with the denim garments and tumbling will happen. Okay, so during this tumbling and all, what will happen? This bleaching agent will comes in contact with the surface of the denim garments and which will hesitate. Okay, due to the hesitation and all, what will happen? Okay, the surface layer of indigo or the sulfur black will be peeled off. Okay, understood? That is the base concept of the acid wash. So in this acid wash, this wash is being carried out by pre-soaking stones in bleach and then followed by the neutralization. Okay, so the denim garments will be treated with pre-soaking. Okay, will be treated with pre-soaked stones. The pumice stones or perlite stones or the synthetic stones which will be soaked in the bleach. So whatever the pores which will be consisting and all will be carrying this bleach. And this acid wash, the denim garment, normally carried out by means of tumbling. Okay, without water. Garments on top of this, these bleach impregnated stones will be topped on top of these garments and then rolled or tumbled. Okay, so wherever it will touch and all, it will create the patches of bleaching. Understood? Yeah. So if you see, just try to make a note of this one. The garments with pumice stones pre-soaked in a solution which contains sodium hypochlorite, NaOCl 5 to 10%, or potassium permanganate of 3 to 6%. Sodium hypochlorite or potassium permanganate, both are strong bleaches. Okay, and then these pumice stones which are pre-soaked are loaded and then tumbled with respect to the denim garments. So what happens? This causes the localized bleaching. Which produces non-uniform, sharp blue-white contrast areas. Okay, as like in this one also you can observe to the bottom here. This causes the localized bleaching, which produces non-uniform, sharp blue-white contrast designs. Okay, this is the advantage of this acid wash. Non-uniform, sharp blue/white contrast designs will be created with this acid wash. You can see such a beautiful design in the first one. You see, okay. So wherever this bleach will not touch, where the blue will remain as it is, and wherever it touches, it will go off bleaching. Okay. If you put direct bleach, then what will happen? Can you able to create this marble finish? This also is referred as marble finish. Means acid wash in case of indigo blue, or in case of it is a black one, and it is also referred as a marble wash. Also referred as a marble wash. Okay. So you can see both the denims which are having acid wash. Okay, and these acid wash garments, of course, this in this what happens in this wash condition, addition of water is not required. Addition of water is not required. Of course, for neutralization it is required, but during the tumbling of the stones and all, the water addition is not. Water addition is not required. The color contrast can be increased by using an OBA, optical brightening agent. Okay, optical brightening agent. So that whatever the bleached area where this dye molecules were stripped off, by using this OPA, what will happen? The white will become even more brighter. So that what happens? The contrast between this blue and white or black and white can be much increased in such a way that the contrast of these colors can be increased and more beautiful design like this can be created. That is OBA, optical brightening agents. Okay. So we will see the process of this acid wash. Okay, just make a note of this one. So the garments are loaded with the stones. Okay, and obviously it needs to be desized. As earlier also we discussed, for denim manufacturing and all, the warp will be having dyeing and sizing both are in the simultaneous process. Okay, once the dyeing is over, on top of it the sizing also will be done and it will be directly manufactured as a garment in terms of the garment industry. So what happens here? The desizing will take place. Okay, the desizing, then drying will take place. Then anti-chlor. Okay, chlorine is removed. Then cooling with addition of water. Okay, water will be added. Then a dry tumbler will be used, and then optical brightening will be there, and then a softener. Okay, just make a note. The fabric which is converted into the garment. Okay, garment loading with the stones, then desizing. Okay, stones are already soaked, right? Pre-soaked in the strong bleach. So what happens as soon as these are loaded and the spots are created? Okay, then the desizing, drying, then chlorine removal, and then anti-chlor treatment. Some acids are also will be used, and then the water will be added and all, basically to remove any of the remaining particles. Then dry tumbling, then OBA. As like wash also, you know how the optical brightening or OBA or Robin blue, how they will be once the washing is done completely. At the end, the OBA it will be dipped and removed so that the brightness will be improved. Similarly, here also, what happens once the drying is done, then the OBA will be added. Okay, with the water. Then softener also may be added. This is the process sequence for the acid wash for the denims. Okay, I hope you made a process sequence, you note it down. Okay, understood? Acid wash process sequence. So it is having its own advantages like unique textures and all created, but some limitations and remedies also we will discuss. Limitations are like the acid wash indigo dyed denim has a tendency to yellow after wet processing. Once it is done and all, wherever this white thing is there, that is due to back staining basically, it tends to yellow. Okay, and it is not required or not recommended by certain buyers and all. So the major cause is residual manganese, whatever the manganese which is left due to incomplete neutralization or washing and rinsing. Incomplete neutralization, washing and rinsing. So what happens, certain manganese will remain along with these bleach agents and acids and that. So that causes the yellowing or back staining. Okay. So how to resolve this is nothing but the remedy for this problem. Okay. So the manganese is effectively removed during laundering with the addition of EDTA. EDTA. EDTA means ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. EDTA. Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid as a chelating agent. So that manganese will be removed so that this yellowness, the prolonged yellowness can be arrested. And by acid washing, genes avoided some of problems of stone washing. Okay, some means like the dust accumulation, all these things, too much water, and these problems can be avoided. But additional problems, additional dangers, additional expenses, and additional pollution which came to the system. Okay, these are some of the limitations and remedies. Okay, one is problem is the color staining of yellowing and all will come into the picture. So that can be reduced by means of adding EDTA and all. Okay, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. By adding this, and it acts as a chelating agent, and then the manganese will be removed and the yellowness problem can be avoided. But the other problems like the danger while using these strong bleaching agents, acids, and the expenses for these chemicals and the pollution and ETP is required. Okay, for in order to effluent treatment plant for these waters which comes from this acid wash need to be resolved before releasing it, isn't it? So those are the problems for acid wash. Those are the problems for acid wash. Okay. Now the next point of discussion in our hand for this video is enzyme wash or biopolishing. Okay. This earlier also in unit 3 also we have covered under the garment finishes, the biopolishing. Biopolishing is nothing but which polishes the surface. Basically, when it calls as enzyme wash, basically it will remove the color also. Enzyme wash is nothing but which is meant for denim. Biopolishing is meant for general, okay, all kind of fabrics. We'll see. We'll revise certain enzyme concepts also. Basically, in order to minimize the adverse effects of stone washing. So now you understood, right? So you will better understand the advantages of enzyme wash. Okay, compared with the stone wash. In stone wash and all, what will happen? A lot of rust or this grit will be formed, and it will be blocking the pipes or machines are getting damaged, and even the fabric tear strength and the tensile strength, the other parameters are also will be drastically reduced due to the stone wash. Okay, so when these adverse effects can be reduced by the help of enzyme wash. Okay, so along with the stone wash, if we add enzyme, whatever the 60 to 120 minutes will take place, the same process can be reduced to 30 to 60 minutes itself. So what happens is, during this process, the time consumption will be less, the amount of chemicals and all manpower, productivity will be increased. Okay, with less resources, more output will be, isn't it? And so obviously that is the reason the enzyme wash is a favorite for denim washes. Enzyme washes or use of enzyme is a favorite thing for denim washes. Understood? So you can see a fabric sample of a denim wash. Okay, what happens? Entire surface is having the uniform. Okay, so certain uniformity will be there, especially at the seams, and the more difference will be there. Okay, the surface more acting of the enzymes will be there than the ones which are more stressed inside. Okay, so the enzyme, which enzyme we will use? Yes, which enzyme we will use for these denim washes? Anyone? Yeah, cellulose. Since it is the denim fabrics are basically made from the cotton or cellulosic fibers, so cellulose is the enzyme. So this enzyme breaks the surface of cellulosic fibers of the denim fabric and removes this will be that remove during the washing process. The dye color and all will be removed. Okay. So during this enzyme washing, certain amount of indigo dye of cellulosic fibers and whatever the nets or hairiness, these also will be removed from the surface, right? So that is what happens in terms of the enzyme wash. So due to the removal of hairiness and nets also, the fabric will become more smooth and soft. Okay. So many people you might have observed, the people who wear jeans, due to its soft and comfortness and all, people always prefer jeans than formals, isn't it? So this enzyme wash is one of the condition or which is one of the deciding factor to increase this softness in terms of the denim fabrics. Yes, the cellulase enzyme wash is one of the important parameter to increase the softness of the denims or the jeans. Understood? Cellulase is the enzyme which is generally used. See, we will see or we will revise what are enzymes. So basically enzymes are proteins which are found in all living organisms, plants as well as animals, and even the microorganisms also produce enzymes. All organisms produce a wide range of enzymes. Okay. So basically in terms of cattle, like avulu, gerelu, means like cow, buffaloes, all these things, herbivores, which eat this, grass. Okay, dry grass or green grass. Okay. So what happens ki, the people will not be able to digest this. Okay. Will you be able to digest after eating grass? No, it is not possible. Why? Because our digestion system will not produce any sort of cellulase. Okay. But the cattle and all will produce a cellulase in its digestion system such that what happens is once the cattle, maybe a cow or buffalo, when it eats grass which is full of cellulose, what it will happen? Basically, in order to convert the cellulose into glucose, so that what will happen? The nutritions will be absorbed by the body of the person, of the cattle, cow or buffalo. So by means of this, since they produce the cellulase, so what will happen? It will useful for breaking down these cellulose polymers and all and convert it to the glucose, so that the nutrients can be taken by this either a goat or a buffalo or a cow or any of the organism which eat grass. Okay. So the people who are unable to digest this grass are basically they will not produce any sort of enzymes, isn't it? I hope you understood the cellulase from where and all it will come. So cellulase is a protein or a biocatalyst which basically uses in breaking down the cellulose molecules. Okay, generally found in all the organisms which eat grass or cellulosic material. Understood? Yeah. So all organisms produce a wide range of enzymes. Okay. In enzyme washing, basically since it is natural origin and all, which is ecologically friendly. Okay. It will not continue at a specific pH and all only it will work. Okay, afterwards and all it will not work. So enzyme washing is ecologically friendly due to the natural origins of enzymes. Okay, these are basically found not from crude oil or not from chemically made. And the enzymes basically catalyze specific chemical reaction and are also known as biocatalysts. And enzymes act on living cells and can be worked on atmospheric pressure and also in a mild temperature and pH also. Okay, as we know, the cellulase, acidic cellulase, basic cellulase, neutral cellulase, 3 types are also there. Okay, so the appearance of natural cellulosic material as like cotton and all, it can be improved through this enzymatic treatment. So this is also known as biopolishing, whereas the surface hairs and pills it can be removed so that sheen can be improved. That is referred as biopolishing. And basically to remove this indigo dye also from the surface and all, for denims and all, it is also referred as enzyme wash. Enzyme wash, biopolishing. Biopolishing is basically for non-indigo goods, non-denims can be referred as a biopolishing. For denims, it can be referred as a enzyme wash. Okay, but the concept is same in both. But in generally, in the industry and all, how they refer it as. Okay, I hope you understood now the difference between the enzyme wash and bio wash. Okay. So basically in biopolishing the objective is not to remove any color and all. Basically less concentration will be used for bio washing, but in enzyme wash more concentration will be used. And in biopolishing or bio wash, basically it will remove the fuzz and the pills so that the fabrics will become more smoother and superior color can be obtained. Okay. And in bioprocessing, basically what happens is the cellulose enzyme which has a specific catalytic action upon 1,4-beta glycosidic bonds of cellulose. 1,4-beta glycosidic bonds of the cellulose. Okay. And in bio wash or polishing, also the cellulose enzyme molecules is too large to penetrate the interior of the cotton fiber. Yes, it is a very important point. You need to make a note of it. In this, what will happen? If you remember in the earlier, there are two things. Okay, one is extremities and then which acts on the surface. Okay, there are two types of enzymatic action. So in biopolishing, what happens? It basically acts on the surface. Whatever the loose fibers only will be there, and the strength will be less loosened in terms of the bio wash. But in terms of the enzyme wash, more strength will be lost. Okay, so since in biopolishing it acts only on the surface and interior will not be touched. So what will happen? The 1,4-beta glycosidic bonds only will be reacted with the cellulose enzyme, and it forms a multi-enzymatic system. And these two different actions which we have discussed in the earlier in Unit 3 biopolishing, I think you can refer to that now. Now briefly we will compare enzyme wash and bio wash. Okay. So in the enzyme wash, what will happen? In both we use cellulose enzyme. Okay, in both which attack and weaken the cellulose. Okay, and enzymes weaken the surface fibers, which are then mechanically torn off during the processing of along with some stones and all in terms of the enzyme wash. But in biopolishing, the removal of protruding fibers and hairiness only will take place. So removal of color and all will not be there in terms of the biopolishing. Okay, in biopolishing, no fading of the color. But in enzyme wash, due to this abrasion and enzyme, what will happen? The more amount of color will be removed. Okay, in enzyme wash, mechanical action is basically required so that the stones which have been under the washing, the stone washing enzymes are also added. So it will act as a peeling off agent for this indigo blue or sulfur blue. Understood? So enzyme wash which requires mechanical action to work and which improves the rate of abrasion, means whatever happens in 60 minutes by means of adding enzymes it will complete only in 30 minutes. Okay. But in case of bio wash, no abrasion process is required, and bath process not applied with the stones in case of bio wash. But in case of enzyme wash, stones should be added. Okay. And in enzyme wash, fading due to removal of color with the fibers due to mechanical abrasion takes place. But in terms of bio wash, there is no fading. Okay. And the surface will be much smoothened due to the removal of hairiness, fuzz and all the other surfaces. Understood? The difference between enzyme wash or bio wash. But it can be, scientifically speaking, both can be interchangeable words. But commercially speaking, these two are different processes. Enzyme wash is basically meant for denim washing. Bio wash or bio polishing is not meant for the denim, but for all other garments which are generally used as like a t-shirt or a shirt or a trouser or a what you call the chinos. Chinos are generally go with the bio polishing. Okay, t-shirts are generally go with bio polishing. Only denims will go with enzyme wash. Understood? Yeah. I hope you understood the concept between the enzyme wash and the bio wash or the polishing. So, in order to consolidate and conclude this video, basically in this video we understood the various processes at various stages involved in the garment wash were thoroughly discussed. And we also discussed the acid wash, which is basically bleach application, and then in order to neutralize and other processes and the acid will be used. And also the enzyme wash, which will be used for the denim garments, and compare it with the bio polishing or the bio wash, which will be carried for the non-denim garments. I hope you have learned something very new today, and it is going to be useful for you for the rest of your life. Please make a note, otherwise what will happen, if you listen, it will come here and it will go here, isn't it? That is what generally happens in the videos and all. So please make sure that you make down or note down some of the notes, okay, so that it will remain. Yeah. So that's all, we reach it to the end of this video, unit 4, video 2. So thank you very much for your patient listening. Please let me know if I need to improve my skills, or if you need any doubts or any specific problems or any other things, so where I can be helpful to you. So that's all for now. Thank you very much.